graph today, we're going to talk about a box and whisker plot. Most of the time, though, they're just going to call it a box plot. And the reason it's called a box plot or a box and whisker plot is because in the center, we're going to have a box with a line in it. That line might be in the middle. It might be off to one of the sides. And then on either side, it has whiskers. Okay? So today what we're going to do is we're going to jump in. We're going to talk about how we do this and the specific pieces because there's going to be some new vocabulary here. So use the following set of data. We're going to put this in order from least to greatest. So I want you to help me do that. Now you can list them up and down or you can list them across. That's entirely up to you. Either way, we're going to need to count 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and make sure that we get all 16 pieces listed. Okay? So which of these is our smallest number so far? 21, okay. And then what? We have 21 again. So do we need to list them both? Yes, we do. 21 and 21, and then we have 22 and 28. I like what I'm hearing. 29. And notice I'm just kind of crossing them off as we go so they don't get in the way. And then what? 33. 35. Then we're going to jump to 40. I think that's all of our 30s, right? And we have 2 40s. And then we have just what? 49? 54, 2 61s, a 62, and what's left? 72 and 75. Now we said we had 16, so we need to count and make sure we got all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Because it would be a real bummer to do all of these next set of things if we didn't have all the numbers, okay? So we're going to, notice I have some space here and that we're going to do something with that. Before we do that, though, I'm going to come down here, all right? Our minimum value is our smallest number in our set. Our maximum value is our largest number in our set. That is not hard. Median, the number that cuts it in half. That we've all done. We're going to talk about these 2 words today. But let's go ahead and fill in the blanks for these things that we need. What is the minimum value? What was our smallest number? 21. What was our maximum? 75. And actually from those we could find the what? What do we call it when you take the highest minus the lowest? We could actually find the range if we needed to, right? So that is something we could definitely find. The median cuts through the middle. Well, if there's 16 pieces of information, what's half of 16? 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this one. So really, I have 2 middle numbers. They happen to be the same. So I'm going to put a box. I'm going to draw a line. What is my middle number actually? Just 40, right?
Wait, why do we do that?
Because we have 2 middle numbers. So if this was like 38 and 42, right, we would add them and divide by 2. So I want to see the exact middle number would be 40. All right. So, and the other reason we do that is for this next piece. So this lower quartile is the median or the middle of the first half of the data, and the upper quartile the median of the second half of the data. Now, this is also called the first quartile or the lower quartile, and this is called the third or the upper quartile. Because your second quartile is going to actually be your median. So think about this word quartile. This means we're breaking it into how many pieces? 4. So far, we've broken it into 2. So for our first or our lower quartile, look where I drew my line, right? I am not looking at any of my numbers above my line, right? I have 8 pieces of data here, yes, from my median down. Now, if we had an odd number, and we'll look at one of these in a little bit, if we had an odd number, we would not include that. We're not including this median number. That's why I drew it separately, okay? So what is in the middle of 8? What would be my middle number here? 28, 29. But I got to find the middle of that. So really it's what? What's in the middle of 28 and 29? 28.5 or 28 and 1/2. Very good. And that is actually my lower quartile or my first quartile. This is my median. And then I need to do the same thing over here. So we still have 8, right? Now we're looking at the top ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look, how nice is that? What is my middle of 61 and 61? 61. So this is my upper quartile or my third quartile. So you can see that now I've broken my data into 4 sets. Just like when we drew this box and whisker up here, look how many sets I have. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do you see that? So I can fill in here that my lower quartile is 28.5 and my upper quartile is 61. These are the only 5 things you need in order to draw your box and whisker plot. Okay, so we have the lowest number and the highest number. Those are actually going to be our whiskers, right? So this is going to be our minimum and this is going to be our maximum. Right? What do you think this line is going to be?
Middle.
That's a median, yeah. What do you think this is going to be? The lower quartile. And this is going to be our upper quartile. Look how pretty that is. And keep in mind, when we draw this, these pieces may not be the same spacing. But I want you to notice that each one has 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of data. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They all have the same amount of data, but they may not be the same size depending on the spread or the range. Okay? So we're going to turn this over, and we're going to draw our box and whisker. Okay, first we need a number line. Well, our lowest number was 21 and our highest number was what? 79? 75. All right, so could we go from 20 to maybe 75? Or do you want to go to 80? 20 to 75. So that range, I know that's not the exact range of our data, but that'll give us a nice numbers. So we have 55 is our space. So about halfway, maybe do we want to count by 10s? We want to count by 5s. We want to count by 5s. So maybe we call this 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and we may have to move our 75 to do this. That's okay. 55, 60, yeah, I'm going to have to move mine. I don't know about you. It depends on how you spaced it out. 70. I'm just going to move it in a little bit because I don't want that to look like super big. Kind of about the same amount of space for each one. Does that make sense? I'm going to give you a minute to draw your number line.